just trying to come to terms with the fact that I probably won't finish this game.
Hi, I'm Rosie Ultraviolet and I'm shit at game deving. I don't think this one will be too long because, to be honest, haven't done much. I know, literally had a whole 2 months, but I am an expert at making the time pass at light speed without actually doing anything. Wait, it's actually been 2 months, or was that something I left in the script? Anyway, it's not even procrastination. I just look at the clock and oh, it's 11 PM now. Well, there goes my day. So, what have I actually gotten done? Well, I drew artworks of the Doki girls and put them all on these neat backgrounds that's all center like this. Except Emari, that pesky fifth wheeler. So Emari is doing her little pose. Monika is like jumping dramatically. Ignore the fact the hair grew another foot just to look aesthetically pleasing. And Yuri, Natsuki and Sayori are all falling as a reference to them being the glitched ones or something. I don't know, I just wanted to draw some cool Danganronpa-like poses to force myself to actually figure out how posing works. Natsuki is the best looking one, I think, because the reference I used was already in really cartoony pose, so I think it works better with my inability to draw anatomy correctly. That foot is looking really dodgy though. Also, while on the topic of art, I drew all of Emari's sprites and I've started Natsuki's. I never got around to drawing hers in the initial batch, so I'm drawing her first out of the Dokis and she's fucking adorable! Emari looks like she's from a Family Guy cutaway gag or something. It's the smile, it's too strong to be a kudere smile, I think. I had this brilliant idea to, instead of duplicating the entire folder every time to make a facial expression, that I should instead split the eyes and mouth on the main sprite so I can make a lot of unique expressions. This is actually very handy if we're making like assets to sell on online marketplaces, as you can get a lot of different personalities and moods across. Didn't work for Emari, as now I've got a folder that's 60 megabytes full of around 200 sprites. Do you see the problem here? The system was too good. I should go through and purge the ones that won't fit at some point, but I've spent so long exporting these, it's hard to bring myself to do it, you know? I don't know much on anime archetypes, but I think in terms of facial expressions, these fit the kudere thing, but then there's these poses that I have faces I drew without the eyes and the mouth being disconnected, and she's not really a kudere with the design, she's just done with life and has a resting bitch face. Does that still count as cold, or does that have too much personality? Somebody help me, this is starting to stress me out. At least the other should be more straightforward because I have something to reference to. I took a crack at trying to draw in the DDLC art style, and after a couple hours of me definitely not tracing Monika's sprite, I made this. I think I could have done a lot better, but I think it's down to 3 things. 1. None of the girls wear makeup or wear glasses, so I just tried to make them look as 2010s anime-y as possible, but I really should have blurred that lipstick. 2. For some ungodly reason, I decided to keep the 720p resolution of the original sprites, which wouldn't be too much of a problem if it wasn't for the fact the line art has to be thin as hell. Way thinner than me and my lord and saviour the paint bucket are comfortable with. And 3. I'm just shit at drawing and kept trying to subconsciously put in elements of my own style in. The hair is the biggest offender of this. One of the only tutorials I could find was on shading the hair, and it looks too dark and saturated, especially in the hair shines. The general shape looks too exaggerated too. I tried my hardest to try tone down the hair so it doesn't look, well, this, but it still looks too poofy. The uniform's alright though. I had figured out how the shading kinda works at that point, so things like the jumper and the skirt don't look too bad, but you can clearly tell it was drawn by somebody who has no idea how to shade smoothly. Her design is closer to the Doki styles, not only because fuck these, but also some meta plot thingy that somewhat links to the post I made in r/DDLC that I can't actually post, because Reddit chucked my old account from 2021 that I was using into limbo the second I made the post on r/fangame, and it says oh, just check your inbox, but there's nothing bloody there, and this fucker keeps appearing, and like, I can still upvote and view posts, so what's up with that, Reddit? Why haven't you responded to the email I sent almost 3 weeks ago, Reddit? Am I banned or not? This isn't related to DDLC, just pissing me off. It's been way more than 3 weeks now, I don't think they've still responded yet. Should probably just make a new one anyway. Anyway, I got the main theme done because I've been on the edge of my seat waiting to remake this, but I want to do some cool sampley stuff, and LMS just wasn't cutting it. So I waited until after I acquired FL Studio through perfectly legitimate sources from my money-filled bank account, and I made this I'm very proud of it, but I thought about the originals, version 2, and now that's just kind of bland now, so... Anyway, I chucked it into C minor blues with the chromatic notes here and there, and it was mostly just looking through the Simpsons citrus and going, ooh, that's a cool name. I wrote out the lyrics at like 9 PM because I randomly had the idea while I was mixing to add lyrics to it. Because I have a fangame duology idea, and their start screens are rap songs because hip hop is cool. So I typed out some lyrics and recorded them the next day. I'm not very good at singing though, and it shows. The amount of takes it took for me to get the bridge right, because I made this at 166 BPM with tongue twisters. That wasn't an intentional script, I'm just kind of sick. But I did it. I did it. God. And then made the vocals too quiet so you can't even hear what I'm rapping. Yay! I think it's because of this. I think it was because of the MIDI I used as a reference or something, because this was crackling like all hell on FL Studio, which made mixing very hard. Bop though, canonically it's Emari who's rapping. It's like a contrast to Your Reality, where instead of Monika sweetly singing to you while playing her piano with soft, delicate hands. It's my blasting of rave CD for having a mental breakdown on the floor. This is a guitar with a vocoder on it, on a modified version of this part of the theme. Sums the game up quite well actually. I have an idea for the start screen because the original layout isn't going to work with these poses, where it's Emari's desk and she's got her 3DS out and the logo and the buttons are on the screens. Also the loading transition is like the start screen being scribbled in. I don't know, I just think it'll be neat, even if I'm not 100% sure how I'll actually pull it off. Oh, well I've also made this custom splash screen with my logo, but it's got blood-stained graph paper to match the singular background I've drawn. I drew this from reference rather than tracing, and honestly I'm impressed it'll fit, like I didn't need to get out the mesh transform tool. The idea was to make it look like something a student would draw in class, hence its rushed looking line work and scribbles. I kept the green plants, as I think it's a cool idea to keep only the living things in colour. Also it really pops. The icon's been changed a bit too, it was looking a bit too amateurish, so I added shine and shadows to make the circle look rounder. The text wasn't drawn with my mouse this time. These O's have stuff in them, and the pencil is now green to stand out, and it has shading and a shadow. Although, I think the biggest thing I've done since June was that I wrote out the entire script for day 1. I had 2 tabs open on my other screen, both of which are a playthrough, but one is Act 1 and the other is Act 2, and I mostly use that as reference, but some lines are just straight up from the original because they flow well, such as Yuri talking about horror here. I could change the line, but it wouldn't fit as well to both the character and the dialogues before and after. Most of this script is original dialogue though, especially because of Emari now not just being an MC OC with a quirky name. I actually uploaded the original script, or well, an edited version of the original script, onto Tumblr in case you were curious. It's nowhere near as good, hence why I went and rewrote it from the start. I'm a bit overwhelmed to try do Tay 2, as that's when all the paths kick in, and I can't find a screenplay on the internet, so I think I'll have to go digging on YouTube for playthroughs of all the different paths, and I'm not exactly sure how to type that out. I'm still developing my screenplay style, but video games aren't like film and TV, and thus don't have a standard way to write out all the branches and stuff, and also it's basically impossible to find screenplays to actual games online because of good old copyright. My main focus with this right now is just getting it chucked into Dialogic. I was talking with a friend on Discord who also uses Godot, and apparently something called Dialogue Manager is much better. But like, I just learned how to do cool stuff with this. I don't want to have to relearn something. At least not yet. Maybe after I finish with my current projects. Currently, I've got the first few minutes in with a load of placeholders and the ugly basic text box. But I think my problem before when it came to game deving was I had the mindset of do all the assets first and then chuck it together. Which is a terrible mindset when it comes to most kinds of games. That's the kind of mindset Yandere Dev has when it comes to writing his 50th blog post on why Kizana still isn't in a damn game, because surprisingly, nobody's volunteering to be a voice actor for a notorious pedophile. Huh. I think it's the mix of me not wanting to end up like that loser, how less stressful it was making Lira Vera because it was for a 1-week game jam, and I wanted to make sure it was still playable even if I didn't have enough time to make all the art pieces. And this Flutter I saw on Blue Sky, get it, Flutter, which really inspired me to change my mindset and be more focused on the get the game bit first, make it look pretty later when you feel like it. Feels much more rewarding developing like this, and would recommend. Because the Dokis don't have sprites though, this is what they look like. So in terms of future plans, I'm gonna focus more on making the screenplays, mock-ups because I haven't decided what the UI should look like yet, and getting it all bare bones into Dialogic. I also want to update my webpage for it, as this is just basic. I want it to look more fun, but I can't for the life of me think of what it would look like. I've looked on inspiration on NeoCities, and I still got nothing. If anybody could help me give advice on how to make this webpage not just look like a fancy Reddit post, then please comment below. The description is also kind of cringe, and I haven't updated it in like a year, so it's all old lore. I've also changed the Tumblr blog page to look like a macOS desktop. I've also been trying to post more on there, like what of most I've mentioned here was already posted on there that I mismatched into a script. A script I keep reading out wrong. I was planning on finishing this sometime before I graduate college, but yeah, not gonna happen. Not just because I'm in year 13 now and shit's about to get real! A-levels, but it's Pixel Day in 5 months on Newgrounds. It's definitely not 5 months now. And I have a smaller game idea for that. I've already got the designs drawn up and I have a structure written out down to the scene, so I'm more focused on that. I know I should stop getting sidetracked with random pixel art games, but it's not like as strict as a game jam, so I'm gonna try to be flexible and still do some stuff in these. I want to get out a devlog like every 3 months, so I gotta do something in that time. What I'm most likely gonna do is the writing stuff I mentioned above, because that's something I can easily whip out and spend 20 minutes on, even though it'll be much longer than 20 minutes because I love to get into the zone. I also want to do more stuff with this channel. Like, as I'm typing, it's Undertale's 10th anniversary in 4 days. It's certainly not its 10th anniversary in 4 days. Now I can tell you that now. Oh god, I should update the script. Oh well, I'm tired. And I'm making some remixes for one big remix, you know. Just devlogs will be kind of boring. I can agree with that, yeah. I also want to go back through my older games and make commentaries on them. I've already done that with Saku. Nobody still cares about that game, but I don't care. It's fun to not have to think about your impending future as a productive member of society. It's my birthday in like 2 months, oh god. One last thing. So you know YouTube sucks and all? Well, I've been chucking my videos since the 2025 trailer onto another video hosting site called Vanillo. Should have said this isn't sponsored. I haven't used it much, but it seems cool. I also have a Global account, but it signed me out randomly and it's refusing to let me sign in, and I can't report the bug because you need to be signed in to report bugs, so fuck me, I guess. I've also considered uploading all my videos onto archive.org and embedding them somehow onto my website, so it's like the olden days where everybody had their own website. Haven't done that yet, don't know why. I don't want to solely be dependent on a narcissistic foot shooter though, so I want to expand so I'm still have the video somewhere when YouTube when YouTube inevitably dies from the AIDS it got from sucking all that corporate dick. Anyway, see ya!
The name I say is ultraviolet, girl, yoga music mixed with rock. If you wanna check your brain and ultra highlight, then listen to me in the deadly headlock. It's very easy to gain bad habits, all you need is desperation. Just lose yourself and kill your rabbits. Now, in sophistication. If you're gonna be a dickhead to your user base, at least wear a condom.